What's up, guys? Sub-Zeric here, back for another VOD review, and today we are reviewing a game from the Americas Regionals in-houses. So, if you guys don't know what's going on, Regionals is 1 week from today. It starts next Friday. I'm going to be co-streaming that with Kai and the boys. And anybody who's not in Regionals in North America is, or all of the Americas, because we're all one region now, is basically saying, okay, I don't want to play TFT anymore. You know, Soju's queuing up games on Valorant. And anybody who is in regionals wants to play with the other players who are in regionals because it's better practice than queuing up solo queue, especially when a lot of the top players who aren't in regionals are not queuing it up. So it's really, queue times are long, that kind of stuff. First thing here is we get Garen Darius here, and we end up selling these 3 for Malphite, or for Cho'Gath. I think this makes perfect sense. It was interesting that he fielded the Kindred plus the Kindred plus this Rek'Sai as well, because this is like Dryad, and Dryad Syndra, by extension, is a comp that I think a lot of people are very low on, but perhaps this is just like his only option. But yeah, so this is an in-house of people who are only regionals players, which makes it a really strong lobby. We have Greya, who's really strong from North America, obviously Setsuko and Milk, you guys probably know, Russell, who's a good NA player, and we are watching Maikel's POV because he actually streamed these games. We are checking Inkshadow here. It is Bombardment. That is the best one for Senna reroll, and we do have a Senna in shop, so that's certainly something you can consider here. Yeah, I mean, you can really think about playing this Cho'Gath plus this Kog'Maw plus this Senna, and then either getting Mythic in, getting Behemoth in. There's a lot of stuff that we could potentially play around here with the snipers. I think it makes the most sense. So I'm certainly down to do that. And yeah, looks like okay. So we're gonna feel the Cho'Gath, but not quite cut the Reapers actually for the Kog'Maw yet. Interesting. I mean, I don't really care to hold anything else here. I certainly want to hold the Senna. You see, this is why I don't really like holding these guys now, because I'd love to hold Riven now with this Aatrox and just kind of commit to this type of opener, Redemption plus Sword, and we could actually play towards like a Senna game potentially. We'll see, though. I fully expect us to buy the Senna, and then this just has to be our setup here. I mean, it's a lot of cool Inkshadow guys. All right, Augment here. Raining Gold's actually the best decon augment compared to this one. I guess if you think about it, this is like 8 gold now, which, I mean, 3 XP is 3 gold, but it's also not 3 gold. The big thing is that this can snowball your econ, and then it's 1 gold per round. So, yeah, it's just, if you look at the stats, and I mean, you can even just look at the meta TFT stats here. Sometimes people ask what the overlay is. Raining Gold is just a better econ augment than this, so you would always reroll these two. And yeah, Best Friends just tends to be a pretty bad augment early. I don't think we can really take Umbral plus 1 here with no Umbral, so I think it's just a default Raining Gold setup here. And, ooh, he's looking... Okay, I think he's looking to see if they were Exalted or something. Yeah, and I mean, there's no Exalted that fits with this board. So smart stuff from Maikel here to try to see, like, is there an Exalted that works with this board. I think he scouted it earlier, but I could not see because he did it so quickly. But, I mean, yeah, 0. I think he scouted it, maybe then forgot what Exalted was. In any case, we are going to pick this up here. We do... Okay. So is this strongest board? He wants to play Inkshadow here plus the Cho'Gath. I think so. The other option would be like Sniper plus Malphite. So it'd be like cut, play Sniper plus Malphite here. Bombardment is a really strong item. Just in general, on Senna, if you look at the statistics, it is the strongest one. This also guarantees that we make 10 gold here, and we get to hold on to these units that we want to play for later. That's one of the biggest reasons I like this, is that guaranteeing that we get to make 10 gold here. There's an Umbral player in this lobby. And yeah, we are calling Senna here because we want to play Senna this game. Now, I did, and we are going to slam Redemption here, hold the sword. Surprising that he's actually interested in holding Kha'Zix over the Kog'Maw. I don't think that's correct, because, like, imagine we see no units for our next 1 billion shops. Like, our level 5 would definitely prefer to be Kog'Maw, but whatever. Looks like he... I mean, yeah, Malphite I could certainly see as well, though I assume we're going to get out of this. There's also the idea, by the way, that we could have held Shen in this shop here instead of the Cho'Gath here. We can't really play Shen on this board. It would have to be like cut this and then you get Behemoth plus Ghostly in, but I'm not really sure that that's stronger. Yeah, okay, but he wants to play this. You basically lose Ghostly, but you get a stronger front line. I mean, thinking about this again, I think I might have preferred just playing Shen. I mean, this certainly looks like the kind of fight that Shen wouldn't have won, but that Cho'Gath would win, and so, I mean, that's a big diff. But getting Shen in for Ghostly, getting the Redemption onto him, if we fight anyone weaker, we get to hold that, because we do want to angle Senna reroll this game, but I did cheat a little. I skipped ahead a little bit into the VOD and saw that this actually... Oh, we'll see as the game goes, but it's not as straightforward as a game as you might think, and we take an Augment Not to you know, dress it up too much. But our 3-2 augment is an augment that I really, really want to talk about. So we'll talk about that when we get there. But yeah, I mean, this Cho'Gath 2 is actually looking fantastic on this board. This certainly looks like a fight that Shen would have won. And then we get to hold on to the Shen. But, either way, it's chill. There is the Shen, and we do opt to just double level here. I love it. I mean, it is such a big spike to get Ghostly plus Behemoth onto this board that I think you have to level for this Shen here. And because we took Rain and Gold, we are still ahead of the curve econ-wise. We're still making 10, though it looks like we're 13 gold, so it looks like this is a lobby where people are just, in general, kind of rich. I don't know how much gold we got from minions, but I feel like 13 gold here with the double level is quite rich, even with Rain and Gold. But all good. We also get to be level 5, higher odds for Senna and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, we got Sword open here going into Carousel. You certainly would love to pick up gloves here. BIS for Senna is almost always IE Last Whisper. I mean, not almost always, it just is IE Last Whisper. We can't get that here, so we actually have a really tough choice here. What do you want to take in this situation? We have Redemption Slammed already. You could take Chain Vest or Shen with Rod. I don't really want to take an open belt here. I guess it is a Ghostly Sniper, but I just don't want to take a 1-cost belt. So do you take Chain Vest or do you take Rod here in this situation? It's pretty tough to me because the Rod is attached to a Shen. And Rod actually doesn't make that many bad... I mean, it makes Crown Guard is the one thing that it makes. I guess I think I would take the Chain here. It's 1 more gold, and Chain is just... Chain can, worst case, be Bramble. It can be Crown Guard. It can be Vow. It can be Gargoyles. The more I think about it, the more I like Chain, but we'll see what we end up taking here. I'm not actually sure what he would have taken there. Ends up taking the Chain, but it almost looked like he was looking to pick up the other one, but who's to say? We do have the option of getting Sniper here instead of Behemoth, but, I mean, the problem with that is... Yeah, and we're considering it. The big issue with that is Behemoth on a Cho'Gath 2 is really, really big, so I don't think you do that, but Maikel certainly considers it here, which I think makes sense, and he's just going to slam the Chain Vest onto the Cho'Gath, slamming your components. I mean, he slammed the sword onto the Senna because he knows that's going there. It's just good TFT to slam your components at spots like these where, especially with the Cho'Gath, there's no world, and especially with Chain and Sword, there's no world where we don't want the Chain on Cho and the Sword on Senna. It's not like Chain could turn into an offensive item on Senna, so I think this makes perfect sense. We're going to make gold, and we seemingly have a very straightforward Senna reroll game from here. Now, Senna reroll is a comp. I did a VOD review on it about a week ago. I think it's a comp that a lot of people had kind of like fallen off on, but now that we're more in this like 2-cost, 3-cost reroll meta, it's actually started coming back because say there's a person in your lobby playing Lux Janna reroll, say there's 2 people playing that, or say there's a Lux Janna reroll person and then there's someone playing Teemo reroll, or there's someone playing like Shen Hero Augment in a gold lobby like this. Maybe that's the case. I didn't see one, but maybe there is. I guess Shen Hero Augment's kind of annoying. Yorick Hero Augment is a better example. They are then taking all of these 2 costs out of the pool for you, which is really, really beneficial for you towards hitting this comp. And boom, yeah, we see that guy playing Lux. We saw another person, actually, who might be playing a similar line. This person, my god, by the way, Milk, this guy is just a high roller. Pair of Lux, Janna 2 Alawis already. He's 20 gold, though. It almost looks like he rolled here, but I can't imagine that he rolled here. I was interested, though, like, one of these people that we scouted a Loon to here with too much candy. What the heck? I'm not really... I guess this is too much candy, a Loon reroll? This is wild to me as well. Who is this? This is Super Pino. This guy is, like, second rank in Latin America North. So, yeah, this person is certainly playing Umbral, so hard for them to contest. Maybe they're just playing Tempo, too much candy, which I don't love, but maybe. Certainly hold on to the Shen. I love this play, by the way, from Maikel here to bench the Cho'Gath here in case we need to sell him to make gold. Don't think it makes sense here because we don't really want to sell the Jax pair or this is Caitlyn 2. And we do get, wow, we got double glove drop there. That's one of the best drops that you can get. This is IE, and we get to hold the other glove for Last Whisper. So IE Last Whisper Bombardment, that is BIS Senna. You don't want anything else. Guinsu is an item that I think a lot of people built early set because they thought it was good because auto-attacking good on a melee or a ranged carry, but do not build Guinsu on this unit. The statistics look horrible on it. I guess it's because her cast time is too long or something like that. Perhaps it's because just IE Last Whisper is a really potent combination in a unit like Senna that's a caster, and then you oftentimes want to have like a tattoo on her, but the stats on Guinsu look horrible, so try not to build that whenever you can. All right, so Prismatic Augment here. I already know what this player ends up taking here, but you guys don't. Nuevo Recluta here, new recruit is okay. Tira Los Dados is also like a pretty solid augment as well. We just don't really have a 2-star unit to put it on, but like I could certainly see this being the take in like a default situation. You go 6, you roll down you pick up like a Shen 2 to put it onto, or you move items to Shen 2 and then maybe you put it onto like an Aatrox 2. I could certainly see that being like insane tempo here. So I think this is what I would lean to, and obviously you don't really want this, but we'll see. But we reroll here and we see Corona de Tinta Sombria, Inkshadow Crown. This gives you an Inkshadow emblem, a Manto del Ocaso, and una Senna. And this is an augment that if you look at the stats of this, I guess that's Hand of Justice, right? Like Manto is like mono. I mean, I can just look up Inkshadow and then we can see what it is. Oh no, it's even Shroud. Ocasio is like Shroud and Manto is like Mantle, I guess. Okay, that makes sense. But if you look at the statistics for this augment, look how nice they are. And let's go Masters Plus for fun. 4.3 at 3-2. Just an excellent prismatic augment here. And then if you get it later in the game, even better. Still really, really good early game, though. It's just the Inkshadow augments in general. Look, you see how the gold one is even better than that. Because of the buffs to this patch, to Kaisa, and to Vertical Inkshadow, this augment oftentimes in spots like this becomes auto take, especially because it's giving us an extra Senna. This means we can easily find Senna 2 here. I do want to continue to roll down here. The question is, when do you stop? After that Shen 2, I think I would be tempted to stop here. But it looks like we rolled one more time looking for... I mean, I guess we have a Mumu pair, we have Aatrox pair. That's about it, though. I think I would have stopped after Shen and moved items over. We have the Volibear, which was a really, really smart hold in this situation because it allows us to play around this. And, I mean, the idea is you just get Volibear in, you get the Shen in. I imagine you put Inkshadow Crown on him and you live your life. But, yeah, we rolled one extra time after Shen 2, right? I'm a bit surprised by that, I think. Yeah, I'm surprised about this roll. And then we see the Ord and we're like, okay, we're playing this, but how does this exactly fit? Because you certainly want to play Shen. Because my thought was just this in, this in. I guess you don't get... Huh, what's board here, actually? Because you certainly need to play 5 Inkshadow, I would imagine. But are we really playing Ornn over Shen 2? I don't think so. I guess you could cut Senna, or you could cut Caitlyn, but I don't like that either. I think I would play the Shen over the Ornn. Yeah, it has to be, right? Yep, agreed. And then you Inkshadow him, and then you put, what's Tattoo of Protection as our next one. You Redemption him. Oh, another roll? I don't completely love this, but what I will say is just, this is a game to show off the power of Vertical Inkshadow and how you can play around it. I'm actually a bit surprised by how deep that we rolled here, because I don't think the plan at this point, after we've hit this, is Vertical, is Senna. It is more a Vertical Inkshadow plan where you want to push levels and you want to find an Udyr so that you can play 7 Inkshadow, because the power of 7 Inkshadow, after the buffs this patch, they buff 7 Inkshadow and they buff Kaisa, you really, 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 really want to be playing 7 Inkshadow if you can. So I'm actually a bit surprised by that extra roll. Maybe he thought he could pick up, you know, like an Aatrox 2 or something like that. And the Alawi is a great unit. I just, once again, I don't really see where she fits. She has to fit in level 7, right? And then our board's 5 Inkshadow, 4 Ghostly, and then, you know, you're very happy with that. And then down the line, you can think about picking up, you can add like Kaisa to the board, and then, you know, eventually, we're going to get to 7 Inkshadow, probably a trick shot unit, and feel good about that, ideally, Azaya. The other nice thing about this is that we have same items like IE plus Last Whisper, BIS Senna, BIS Kaisa. We aren't actually able to pick up that Last Whisper here, which feels really bad, so I imagine we're just going to go for like a Crown Guard or a Sunfire, I guess, or even Gargoyle. I really tend to like Crown Guard on Shen, but we're not actually carrying Shen here. So I'm curious to see what we end up actually picking up in this position. We don't have Heal Cut. We have the Even Shroud. I wonder if you do ever just pick up a Sunfire here. I'm kind of a Sunfire enjoyer, so yeah, I don't hate it. The only problem is we might have to end up slamming this on a Jax. We have Even Shroud already stuck on the Jax, which is already kind of scary because we want to play this Jax the entire game. So I'm a little surprised we actually Even Shrouded Jackson. Oh my god, this is aggressive. I mean, the level for the Alawi is a huge spike for sure, but my god. Yeah, I would much rather actually prefer to have items onto the Alawi. Also, we're probably tabbing out here to look at stats or something. So I don't know. I'll skip forward till we're back in the fight. No Sunfire Slam, it looks like. So we're going to hold on to this. Maybe for Morello is the idea. And it doesn't end up being Sunfire. Or it looked like that fight was not really close at all. So perhaps the idea is just, I don't need to slam this item to win this fight. So why would I? But yeah, ooh. I mean, we certainly, with that early level, I mean, it just has to be double interest, right? We don't have the gold to roll on, like, is he really going to take the... I mean, the idea is that if you take, and for people who aren't familiar with this one, it's either double your interest or your shops are 1 level higher. you would have to roll, because it's 1, 2, 3 rounds. You'd have to roll it 4-1 with our level 7. Yeah, I cannot see that happening. I think we just sit here, we prioritize making income here, so we could even... Oh, we picked up a lot of Shens there, actually. Interesting. But I mean, I would just hope that we win this fight, sell the Senna, sell the Kate, make 30, and, you know, you can be happy with that. Okay, someone in chat asks, did you know it was Kane? And this is actually like a good place to revisit that. We're in the Kane encounter, by the way. Now that's still pretty far away. It's a stage and a half. But the reason why I think Maikel angled Inkshadow early is because this comp just spikes really, really hard, stage 3 and like early stage 4 around Senna 2. But this is a really nice kind of like offshoot of the comp that if you get Inkshadow +1, you can pivot into this Kaisa setup. I guess also if you like natural bunch of Kaisas, you can always do that, though the Senna reroll is quite good here. So we get to make a ton of interest over these couple of rounds. This is really, really big for us. We do end up getting that Crown Guard as an item. And where did our belt ends up becoming Guardbreaker? He slammed Guardbreaker in that last fight. Kind of surprising to me that he actually... I mean, I guess the idea is like Last Whisper is deprioritized because we already have that Even Shroud, so it probably just becomes Guardbreaker. Okay, that makes sense. Last Whisper is still not completely bad because you're bouncing to backline a lot when you're playing around Kaisa. But I mean, yeah, with Even Shroud, you end up making Guardbreaker. It's nice to know that that Maikel thinks Guardbreaker is not a bad slam in a spot like this, because I've slammed Guardbreaker Kaisa before, and I'm not sure how effective it is. I haven't really looked at the statistics, but hey. Another Augment here. Best Friends seems fine. I have no issue with this. It's a little bit awkward for redemption positioning, but are we really taking keepers here? I don't think so. Ooh, I would actually take Unified here over Best Friends. He just snap picks the Best Friends here, and we are going to roll. Looks like pretty deep. Those are some really, really nice rolls for us already. There's another Kaisa. One more Kaisa, and we're Kaisa 2 here. Huge. Yep, he can move items off of this the Senna, get the Ornn in here, and it's actually like a really, really easy pivot for our board. And he is going to play this version of the board. Now, this is something that I think... I don't know. I might have actually been watching this VOD on stream, but this is something that someone in my chat was asking about, because you could certainly cut a Ghostly unit here and play Trick Shot, but 4 Ghostly is a really big spike, and like, what Ghostly unit are you cutting? You can't cut you can't cut the Aatrox. Cutting Shen feels really bad because you're cutting Behemoth. So like the most cuttable one ends up being Caitlyn, right? But the problem with cutting Caitlyn is you're losing 4 Ghostly and you're losing Sniper. Like, these all like really, really help shore up our front line and just fill out synergies beautifully. So the only thing you could think about is maybe cutting Caitlyn for Trick Shot here. And it looks like Maikel actually prefers playing 4 Ghostly to Trick Shot here, which is a little surprising to me, but I could see... I mean, like, look, he has Zaya in his shop, by the way. Like, this is crazy stuff that that I believe he ends up rolling over this Syra, or certainly not playing her this round. Because he actually prefers the 4 Ghostly that hard to Trick Shot here, which, I mean, yeah, I do remember watching this game from, like, I think I started watching around here, and, like, this is wild to me that he actually prefers 4 Ghostly this hard to Trick Shot. But I mean, Sniper's not a bad synergy by any means. 4 Ghostly is a ton of extra damage. Maybe he's mathed it out and found out that, you know, 4 Ghostly is actually more damage. I wouldn't be that shocked. I would still want to hold the Kaisa. It's surprising to me that we even just completely skip over the Kaisa, because I believe this is going to be eventually, when we get into our board, eventually we're going to get into Ornn, or to Udyr, and then get out of some of this other stuff. Component-wise here, we just have the chain open. I guess you can go another Crown Guard. He's looking at Sword, though, or just some kind of offensive item to start duo carrying. He says, all right, I have enough tank items at this point. I mean, I could certainly see it. But yeah, I mean, at this point, you can see the power of this board. I mean, to be fair, we did hit Kaisa 2, Ornn 2 really, really quickly, so we should be quite strong, but you can see 5 streak here. Very, very strong. There are certainly some boards where you hit a couple upgrades and you still don't win, but this board, we are doing tons of work. Though we are fighting an important challenge here. This is Setsuko with almost hand-picked augments here. The double Gargantuan Resolve Titans onto the Lee Sin, the Duelist +1 as well. And oh, just barely we lose this fight, man. I mean, that is a very, very strong board from Setsuko, so I am not that shocked that we lost to it. Ooh, this is surprising to me, though. The roll down here. I mean, this is because, by the way, I think this is specifically because we are in this portal. We want to find upgrades and save HP, because we only have 4 rounds left in this game, right? This round might be really, really important. I think in a normal game, we would just go 9 in this position. It's interesting that we roll down here instead of at 5-1, but I think his idea is, like, I want to roll and get strong before a lot of other people. Like, people like this person that I'm fighting here, who I'm not actually sure this is Greya. you know, like Grea might spike his board really, really hard at 5-1. So it looked like he didn't have that much gold. But the idea is just spike my board now. It's not that much econ that I'm losing, and the big thing is, you know, if I can win a fight before people spike, maybe this game can be a first, right? Look at my HP compared to everyone else. But yeah, I mean, at this point, we are just going to roll down a lot. We do end up finally taking, I have to imagine this is Sunfire Deathblade. We also have a lot of bears, but not too many. And at this point, we're just rolling down to hopefully find the 7 Inkshadow by finding an Udyr. It is level 8, so it's a little bit hard to find this Udyr. We actually pick up Silas here, who's very often a unit of interest, but I don't really see where he fits on this board. Oh, I think this shocked me as well. I believe he ended up playing Silas. Yeah, he plays Silas over the Ornn here, which is kind of wild to me. Just because Ornn, I feel like, I mean, it both fit well onto the board, but yeah, I mean, he wants to, one, Inkshadow Crest Silas seems really solid. I mean, he's a bruiser, he's a great unit. I mean, one could certainly make the argument that he's a better unit than Ornn, and the other idea is, like, the second that we find an Udyr, Ornn would be potentially coming out anyway, because, or Shen could come out. Well, we would see, though. I don't know. No spoilers, but I don't know if we end up actually seeing an Udyr this game. But you can see just the insane tempo of this board, just winning every single fight, and it does not even look close. Also, just without Trick Shot, which is wild, that we have so many options to potentially fit Trick Shot onto this board, and we're not interested really in playing it just because we want to play around 4 Ghostly, which I think is a really interesting idea. And I mean, one, I definitely have to watch more VODs to see if, like, this is just something that Maikel prefers or if this is, like, consensus strongest board. But it is wild to me that, yeah, I mean, like, we saw that Xayah and we just said, I mean, there's no way we're hitting Xayah 2, so we might as well just keep our board as strong as possible, play 4 Ghostly here and be happy with it. And yeah, we just roll down, do not find anything else. We're 47 HP, so we just have to win this last fight, and then we'll be first. If you look up at the top there, in case you forgot, I mean, I gave you guys a reminder, so if you guys forgot, I don't know, get your memory checked. But we just need to survive one more fight, and it will be a first. So we are fighting Super Pino here, who is low HP, but really strong. We do kill a lot of units. We end up dropping to 34, though, and Altenokwe here just barely wins that fight. So it is a second here from Maikel. Still a really cool performance from a cool comp, and showing off an Augment that I think, you know, a few patches ago, this was on nobody's radar, but it got buffed this patch. The Kaisa got buffed this patch, and so, yeah, a really strong setup. And played well by Maikel. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe. Check out my Twitch and all my other links down below, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye.